Vanessa. I'm one of the creators of the short documentary called DUTEE that premiered at the Queen's World Film Festival.
And I'm Nina Horowitz, a filmmaker here at Vice Media, director and producer of the Margaret Lambert story. So the inspiration behind the Margaret Lambert story is, of course, Margaret Lambert herself. She's such an amazing woman. She's a woman whose story I came across years ago when I was a young teenager, and I just remember reading about her and being so inspired and thinking one day I hope to make a film about her. And luckily this year on her 102nd birthday, Vice and the Olympic Channel allowed me the opportunity to bring her story to life, and it's been an incredible experience.
For DUTEE's story, we were really interested in finding something around the topics of sport and gender. It was a topic that Vice and the Olympic Channel were really interested in. During this time, it was right before the 2016 Olympic Games, and Caster Semenya was featured prominently throughout the media. And while digging deeper into Caster's story, we found DUTEE, and through DUTEE, we also found Santi's story. Some of the biggest challenges when shooting DUTEE was, one, trying to tell such a complex story of gender testing within a short 25-minute film. We were also in India for only 3 days. We had very limited access to our characters, and it was also really important for them to tell their stories through their native tongue. After filming with them, we realized that we needed additional support, so that's where Katrina's character came in. So she really helped. She was an asset to DUTEE and Santi's stories because she was able to tell more of the background story while the girls were able to tell their own personal stories.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, DUTEE was in the midst of, this case and training for Rio, so she was very focused and very determined to make it to Rio. So we were just really grateful to get any of her time on camera. Telling the Margaret Lambert story was we originally just wanted to film Margaret, and after weeks and months of finally locating her, we met with her and her son to do a scout, and we realized that though Margaret is so sharp and has such a good memory of what happened, she is 102 years old and needed the help of some other key characters in telling her story. So what was a fun and exciting challenge was finding other very crucial people that have played a role in her life to tell the story of Margaret Lambert. One crucial character being her son, Gary Bergman. So that was a really fun kind of challenge that we did a lot of research and finding additional talent to tell her story in the best way possible.
So the question of what makes a woman, I think that's a pretty deep question to ask, but in my opinion, if someone identifies as a woman, then that's who they are and that's what they are. Gender is something that's way more personal and complex than a set of standardized tests. So if someone believes they're a woman, then that's who they are.
And it's not up to society or science or anyone to question that, really.
That's why I think such documentaries like the Margaret Lambert story are really important. So, things that have gone on in history are documented, that we don't forget these stories and that we can prevent things like that happening again in the future. The same thing for DUTEE's story. Was a really powerful issue about gender testing with women, and not many people know much about that subject.
I think what makes our films so timely and poignant and important to a global audience is that they draw such parallels to political, gender, and all societal issues going on. How Trump's America is trying to put a ban on Syrian refugees, on Mexican immigrants. How DUTEE's story really reveals a lot of problems that people, that maybe identify as a different gender than they were born with, or whatever the case may be, have a lot of challenges and aren't accepted into society. And we just wanted to really tell this story in an unbiased and very factual way so it could resonate with a larger global audience. I think what's so cool about film festivals is that it brings filmmakers from all over the world, young filmmakers, old filmmakers, lifelong filmmakers, and it accepts so many different forms of of content, from documentary to narrative to animation. It just opens this beautiful world of art. So we're just really happy to be part of that festival circuit this year.
As a young filmmaker, you should continue sharing your ideas, because the more you share your ideas, the more you'll find your creative partners to collaborate with and to bring your ideas to fruition.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge team effort. It's very loving but laborious, so find your partners, find your creative souls, and get together and just make great work.